There's my beautiful intro, provided rather by Swing Point Media, making all of this happen. Today we are, you know what we're doing? We're talking about the importance of making sure that your units are serviced. We're talking about heating, air conditioning, and plumbing. More heating though, because we're out of the season as far as air conditioning is concerned. But today you are part of the air conditioning and the heating news for the Coachella Valley, and we always like to highlight Preferred, right? Rick Cubas, he's the president of Preferred Air Conditioning and Heating here in the Coachella Valley. So we're going to talk for about 15 minutes. He and I are going to have a chat, and we're going to just learn about the importance of servicing your units. I don't want to give it away. You're going to find out. So let's bring him in on to the show. And again, I appreciate all of you being here today. Mr. Rick, how you doing this morning?
Hi, great, Brian. How you doing out there?
I can't complain. I need some more coffee. I got a little tongue twisted there. But I'm good. This is, we're moving into fall, and this is the season that we all kind of get excited for as far as living here in the Coachella Valley. Yeah, cold. But let's jump right into it. I want you to start to talk a little bit about just the importance of making sure that you love your heaters and that you're servicing and treating them like a part of the family. Let's jump right in.
No, that's a great way to put it, because if we love something, that means we're going to take action, right? So, when it's cold and it feels more like winter than it does fall, that's for sure, right? Look at the mountains. We got snow already out there, and we've got wind chill factors, and it's just cold. So so if we do love our furnaces and we want them to be there when we need them, you just want to take a few precautions. And one of the main ones that you can do is make sure that filter is changed. It's just to our air conditioning show that we did just months ago, because remember, your furnace is actually an integral part of your air conditioning system. Okay, everything, all the air inside your living space is actually going through your furnace system. So your furnace acts as the air handler in the air conditioning season, and it turns on the flames for your heat exchanger for the furnace season, or the fall or the winter. So sure your filters are changed. We went through a pretty intense summer, so I'm sure it's all clogged up if you're not on a maintenance program already. So you want to make sure it's getting the proper airflow throughout the house, and obviously trapping all the contaminants and the viruses and the molds and bacteria and germs that may be in the house as well.
Viruses, bacteria, and germs. And those are the things that we just don't think about. You don't see it, you don't think about it,
Yeah, outside out of mind.
Out of mind. So as far as filters and stuff, I feel like that we're in the DIY age where it's like, hey, let me try and do this. I know that I would be a big, a dusty mess if I tried it. We don't suggest people doing that, do we?
Typically, no. You can. I could tell you there are people out there that can, but you have a safety switch on the door of your furnace, and this is the biggest challenge, is that when you're taking the door off, at that point, it's fairly simple depending on the kind of filter that you have in your system. Some are more complicated than others, but the problem is there's a little switch that the door, when you put back on the door, it pushes in the switch, and that's a safety switch. When the door comes off, the unit won't come on. And if you don't put that door back on properly, then you're calling us to come out because there's something wrong with your heater. And because the door didn't come back on. So if you're going to attempt it yourself, be very careful. Some of those filters are electronically charged as well. There's sheet metal in there, and there's just things that can cut you. And so just be extra careful. We typically don't recommend it, but again, depending on the style that you have. But if you do it and you're into it, just make sure the door goes back on so that safety switch is engaged.
Okay. All right. I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm kind of scared of stuff like that. I'm afraid I will electrocute myself or cut myself, as you mentioned.
That has happened.
I'm glad I asked. I'm really glad I asked. Thermostat calibration. What is going on? I know that's something I can't do. Tell me about what that is.
So, most thermostats these days, the digital programmable thermostats, Title 24, they have different calibration adjustments you can make to it between temperatures and times and days that you want the system to come on and off, and what temperatures that you want at certain times during the different days. And so if that's not properly adjusted, I mean, you can have air conditioning coming on, heating coming on, wrong temperatures at different times, depending on who's in the house and what's going on. So it can put a beating on your system when it's going off and on like that. That's called short cycling.
It's called what? Repeat that.
It's called short cycling, when it's going off and on too frequently. And, think about your vehicle, turning your system on and off, turning your car on and off, several times throughout the day. It just puts a beating on your car. The same with your air conditioning system. It's very inefficient to run it that way. You won't feel comfortable. And at the end of the day, you're shortening the lifespan of the system. So, typically those digital programmable thermostats, they do come with instructional manuals. Instruction manuals are now online, of course, but we'd be glad to help out over the phone as much as we can as well.
Let me ask you this, Rick, and we're going to pop up the website for friends at home. Again, this is really the time to either hit the website or make a phone call and, get Rick and his team in before we're kind of in the throes of everything. But here's my question for you. What is something that we all do wrong? What is something that we all do wrong as we're moving into this new season? Does that make sense? Because I know either for me, it's like I turn my heater on and I crank it up to 85, or, give us some examples.
I'd say the biggest thing is like you said earlier, it's out of sight, out of mind. We tend to just kind of go through that thermostat and turn it on, and we don't question it, right? We keep pressing up until the heat is hot, and we think if we press it up to 100 degrees, it's going to get hotter. And if we press it down, we think it's going to freeze us out. And so the best thing you could do is set it and forget it. Get it to the temperature you like it at, really. If we just simplify this whole thing, get it at the temperature that you like it at and leave it alone. Let the system do its thing. Unless you get, you're one of those techie people out there that can calibrate those thermostats appropriately, you'll just find yourself in a bit of a mess as it's kind of having a mind of its own. So if you just put it onto auto, to auto and heat, so you have an auto and off mode or on mode, you simply put it onto auto and put it onto heat, and then the temperature you want it at, and just leave it alone and let it reach that temperature when it needs to, depending on the outdoor weather.
Okay, I love this because I'm learning, you don't know what you don't know. So I've lived in several different types of households, right? My ex and I, there was like 7 of us living in the house at one time. And the problem was everybody would change the thermostat at their own time for their own comfort. How do we work around that? Do you have a sit down with the family, or do you put a note next to the thermostat? What do you do?
Yeah, you know what? It's just as simple as that. Yeah, we have lock boxes as well. You could pick up a lock box. We can have them installed for you. The big next to it saying "do not touch," of course, but
right.
How many know out there that notes next to thermostats don't necessarily work? People. So a nice lock box over it usually gets the point. Like you said it, you lock it, and no one's touching it.
Yeah, I've seen those lock boxes, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, they know they're hip to me. They know I want to get in there and either warm it up or cool it off. All right, so gas valve adjustment. That also sounds like something we wouldn't want to DIY, right?
No, yeah, you're exactly right. So on the gas valve, and this is part of the tune-up process. Your provider, hopefully it's preferred, when they go out to do the tune-up, there's an adjustment on the gas valve that allows us to adjust as needed, so that flame is perfectly balanced inside the system, because you want to tune it up to a point where per manufacturer specifications, it's giving the heat desired without damaging your system. Okay, and so that's something that we check. We hook up our instrumentation to determine where it currently is and where it needs to be. And also, again, everything that we're talking about here today is also about extending the life of your air conditioning and heating system, right? So it not failing before its due time and beyond its warranty as well.
Which at the end of the day is saving us all money, which is really the name of the game, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so when I kicked on my heater 2 nights ago, there was a smell in the air, and I feel like we should name the show "Out of Sight, Out of Mind," because I'm like, you can't see it, you just smell it. It's a little bit alarming. Talk a bit about what we're smelling. Is that carbon monoxide? And move into that, please.
Yeah, the problem with carbon monoxide is it's odorless. So typically when you find out about carbon monoxide being in the house, it's typically too late. you're feeling massive headaches, and obviously there's some that have died from it, right? You're sleeping, you don't know what's happening. Smell that you're talking about typically is just from an unclean system, or a system that just needs to be cleaning. Again, if you had it cleaned before summer, you've gone through the summer, it's time to get it cleaned again, because all that dirt and debris, it has gone through the system, right? And so all that dust, it sticks to your heat exchanger. So when you fire up the furnace, the exchanger heats up, and you're just kind of smelling all the burn off from all the stuff that's on the inside of your furnace.
Okay, so essentially it's burn off.
Yeah, it's just burn off. You'll typically smell it for a couple cycles. It'll go away. Not a big deal. But yeah, again, not carbon monoxide, because you don't smell carbon monoxide.
But another indicator to just get your units serviced and cleaned.
Absolutely.
All right. So, obviously this is 2020. It's been a weird year. We now have COVID that we're dealing with. You guys have really kind of set the bar with COVID compliancy when you're moving into people's homes. Tell us a bit about some of the precautions that you take.
So we are still wearing the face coverings. We're still in a zero contact mode. If you go on our website, you'll actually see a full video of everything that we do, but it's all face coverings. It's the gloves, it's the floor protectors, or the shoe covers. We are social distancing, and the zero contact means that what we're going to do when we come out there is you're going to let us in, or you're going to let us know how to get into the house, and we'll provide videos and photos, and we'll call you on the phone as we're working on the system to show you everything that we're doing. So essentially, it's doing what we always do when we come out to your home in good communication. It's just we won't be face to face. And before we do anything, again, we'll show you photos, we'll show you video of what's going on with your system, and we won't do anything until you approve after you've seen the photos and those videos. And again, nothing to touch, nothing to sign. Everything via text messaging for approval, or email, or voice recording. And that way everybody feels safe and still gets all their essential heating and air conditioning needs taken care of.
Mm-hmm. And I just saw John N is on his way, or will be arriving soon.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost like Postmates. And that's kind of the peace of mind that we all need, tense times we're living in. So that's a very nice, it's nice that you're offering that. It's the best way to put it.
Yeah, it'll just give you a quick little bio of who's coming out there, so you can feel comfortable about the individual has, and some comfort. By the way, everybody's 10-year background checked. While we always believe in second chances, we don't have any felons on our team. We don't want to test them on you, if you will. So you can trust who's in your home.
Nice. I never knew that. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right, so let's talk a bit about some specials that you're offering, again, as we're moving into fall. And we're going to pop up, as folks can see at home, we've got the website up. I encourage you to go to the website and browse it. It's a beautiful site with just much more detail as to how Preferred can help you. But yes, Rick, please tell us some specials that you're offering right now. So
right now, typically your standard tune-up is $90. Right now, we're offering it for $49. We'll come and just like a doctor would, we're going to hook up some instrumentation and see what's currently going on with your system. And one of the main things that we're doing right now is that carbon monoxide testing. We're checking out the parts per million that you have in the home. And again, we'll show you what it should be. We'll show you what it's at. And we'll also test monoxide detectors to make sure that they're performing properly. Check the batteries and make sure that that they are good as well. And if you don't have carbon monoxide detectors, we can actually help you with that as well.
Okay, I'm a bit biased, but that seems like a really good deal. Again, just for peace of mind, right?
Yeah, it is. And a lot of people say that, like, oh, okay, am I really getting a good tune-up for $49? What we look at this as is really a marketing expense. We know the $49 is not a money maker. However, we believe in our 5-star service so much that we believe you're going to tell your friends and family and neighbors about the service that was provided for that $49. And that's how we make up for it, is the word of mouth.
All right. Well, I love when I have these conversations with you because I'm always learning something. And I hope our viewers learned something as well. Again, when you have some time, surf this site, give Preferred a call. They're definitely number one here in the Coachella Valley and the world. Wouldn't you agree, Rick?
Oh, the world, yes.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah, why not? Let's do it. Let's take it over.
Let's do it. Any last words for our viewers, Rick?
Last but not least, we've been getting a tremendous amount of inquiries on indoor air quality products. You know, again, we're spending more time indoors. We've got the homeschooling going on more than ever. And so we do have the technology, the ultraviolet technology, and the filtration systems that will help prevent and protect your family and businesses, by the way, against viruses, mold, bacteria, and germs. So for business owners, it's a great thing because you're letting your employees know that you care, obviously, and you add an extra level of protection against those things. And then, of course, for your family. Not only the dust, dirt, and debris to protect your air conditioning system, because dust, dirt, and debris is the #1 killer of air conditioning and heater systems. But also, again, those other contaminants like viruses, mold, bacteria, and germs, both in the air and on surfaces. This technology takes care of both in the air and on surfaces. I'd love to have some more conversation with you all on that as well.
I think we will. Maybe we should talk about this a week from today, next week.
Yeah.
Are you up for it?
Sounds like a deal.
Okay, I'm going to just keep kind of repeating in my head, mold, bacteria, and germs. You do the same at home, everybody. And
Yes.
let's get rid of those germs and that nasty bacteria and mold. A big thanks to you, Rick. We're going to pop up that website for you once more. There it is.
All right.
And big thanks to all the viewers. That's a wrap. We'll see you soon.
Thanks. Take care.
All right, buddy.
Bye-bye.